So I never planned on doing this exactly. I never did. I always was someone who was like, you know what? No, I am not someone who responds to other people's videos. I'm not someone who is reactionary. I am just someone who makes silly videos on his private channel and just spews crap into his microphone on this channel. But you know what? Fuck that shit. Because I saw something that I was like, you know what? I could do this, and maybe I should. So here I am. I'm responding to a video of Hans Wormhat, or as we now shall call him, Hans Wormhoed. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got here.
Today is Wednesday, November 4th, 2020, and I'm just looking at this article in the news just because it's so over the top, and it's good just to have some examples like this that you can pull out and see, look, everything on the TV is fake. So what they do, real life just isn't that interesting, just not that much crazy stuff happens. So these people, they love street theater, and they put on these big productions and then they put it on the TV, and then that makes it real. They love to write history. And one way that you write history, well, it's through the present, right? You need to, if you're going to write history, one way that they do that is they fabricate some event today, and then 10 years from now, they have created false history in that way. They love to just.
Okay, he's not the only one that I've been hearing about this bullshit. And my main question is, why? Why would anyone do this stupid kind of shit? Right? Why would anyone put up a play for us to see? There is literally zero reason to hoist a. Well, we'll see what he's saying about it, but I
put on productions, put on a bunch of costumes. Just think of how ridiculous war generals look with a million little buttons on their thing. Do you really think that they do that much stuff? It's just all a play. It's all a production. This whole world is fake. And especially everything on the TV is fake. And
this really boggles my mind. He's really good at proclaiming everything fake because he's proclaiming pandas fake. He's proclaiming zebras to be fake. I mean, come on, man. Like even your standard run of the mill flat earther is not this completely insane. Like, why the fuck would you think that all of these things are fake? I don't understand.
or in the news. Here we go. In fluke accident, sculpture of whale tails saves train from 33-foot plunge. And they love puns. They love childish puns, especially nasty ones. But here we just have, the fluke of a whale. In fluke accident, sculpture of whale tail. And there's another pun right there because tale you can think of as T-A-L-E, like a story that somebody's telling you. A whale tale might be a really big fib story that somebody's telling you. And 33, very obvious, front and center. They love.
Yeah, well, actually, I don't know who wrote this article. um, I don't think that this person did a really good job into translating the different Dutch article they obviously tried to translate, um, and kind of gave their own spin on it because it's actually called whale tails with AI. Um, Not with just an A. There is no pun in the artwork.
Of these friendly, I think more so with ones like this, fun, what they might think is like fun, exciting video. Nobody got hurt. It's extraordinary. They want you to think it's a miracle. I think that's why they're fine just coming front and center with the 33. And you can't get more obvious than that. But it keeps going. I'm just going to read through this. You'll see. What I want to show in this video is just they play the same tricks over and over. They write the articles in certain ways, trying to, and they're mocking a lot of times, and they're having a big laugh about how this is fake, but people will believe anything, and they love having a laugh about it. So there's going to be a million coincidences in these stories, and the thing is that they've programmed people to believe that things can happen with all sorts of coincidences, and they think nothing of it because the TV told them it's true. Aptly named Saved by the Whale's Tail, the art installation prevented a potential deadly accident in the Netherlands. So the art installation that's involved with this is called Saved by the Whale's Tail. Look at that. It looks straight out of a movie, because it is. They just pretend it's real, do it in real life. And I don't know how.
Right. They just pretend. Exactly. Right? It's so obvious. I mean, of course. Of course it's all pretense, because why would this be real, right? I mean, you can't make this up, right? You know what I'm saying, dude? Right? Like that is why, obviously, they also damage the front of the train, because how obviously fake it is. Seriously, man, the only people they are laughing at, as you say, is you, Hans. Really.
How they got it up there. This reminds me of the Miracle on the Hudson. I don't believe that that's a real event at all. It's staged with a bunch of actors, and that plane was already floating on the water. They removed the curtain and said action. I don't know exactly how they hide all this stuff all the time, but they do, and this is another staged event. I think I know how they hid this one. It's because they did it at just a time when nobody's out. 12:30, which is a 33 reference, a more subtle. So that's the thing. They don't always come in with the 33 blazing right as the first number, but in some cases they do, and this is a case where they do. But they also have more 33s hidden in this. So 12.
You know what? I got 33 reasons why this is stupid. Listen, 12:30 a.m. There are plenty of people awake at 12:30 a.m. There are fucking people who walk their dogs at 12:30 a.m. It's in a park near some houses. People probably heard the bang at 12:30 a.m. This is so obviously not fucking staged, and to think that boggles my mind. It really does. Yeah, let's
12:30 a.m. is when it happened. So they could have pulled something like this off. I don't know, made sure the area was clear and get it done. I don't know. But 12:30 a.m. it's a 33, because 12, 1 plus 2 is 3. So 3, 3. Earlier yesterday, a Dutch train and its operator narrowly avoided an accident after plowing through the barrier at the end of the metro's elevated rails. Luckily, instead of plunging 33 feet and crashing into the ground below, the car landed precariously on an enormous sculpture of whale tails that flanks the end of the tracks. Quite the...
Yes, that is exactly what happened. Sorry for that. There's not really nothing that weird about it. It's actually basically, it shouldn't have happened. It was a human error in combination with a technical error, but it did happen. Like, I don't really see any reason why people would fake this. Like, I can get, though I don't think that it happens, but I can get various things being faked in order to quote unquote control us, right? That's imaginable somewhere, maybe. It doesn't happen still, but sure, I can give you that. But things like this, why the fuck would they do that? Why the fuck would they fake this? That's that's where what I can't understand. That's really what I can't understand. And the same thing with pretty much anything you put on your channel. Fucking pandas, fucking zebras, you know? Um there is literally no reason why to fake that, because it would add nothing about controlling us or anything like that. I mean, come on, man.
Story. It's like a scene. So here, in this video, I'm just pointing out, I mean, if you've seen enough of my videos, you see that I point this out all the time, how you will have people talking about how, oh, it felt like a dream. Oh, it didn't feel real. Oh, I still can't believe that this happened. And this is another one that you see all the time. It's like,
How else do you think that people would describe something like this? What else? What do you expect from people? Like, oh, I felt like when I saw it, I felt like a small tingling in my upper thigh, and then a slight spark in my right chest. No, of course no, not. You're making me fail at my English even more than I usually do. Of course not. They say it like, oh, it was like this, oh, it was like that. And yeah, this fucking looks like a Hollywood movie, because of course it does. What else does it look like?
like the scene of a Hollywood movie. They're mocking you, they're telling you the truth. It's not real life. This is just a staged event, a staged Orange 33 event. Thank God the tail was there. Well, thank God the tail was there. And again, there's this idea, they love the idea of puns and synonyms, and the tail represents the tale, T-A-L-E, the fact that this is just a whale tale, a fake story. Now retired architect Martin Struige designed the sculpture.
Okay, Mr. I don't do Nordic languages. It's Maarten Struis. I mean, come on, Gans Wormhoed. Learn names.
Sculpture, which consists of two large whale tails raised about 33 feet. And they like that. That's a duality reference. The fact that there's two whales, you could think of it as like the two pillars of Freemasonry. Raised about 33 feet above the ground. Coincidentally, so with the coincidences, and they aren't coincidences, they build their stories with these obvious their stories are often interconnected and self-referential, and yeah, built in with so many coincidences because they're fabricated stories. Random stories, random happenings of life don't have a million coincidences because they're just things that happen. But their stories are often filled to the brim with coincidences because they enjoy doing that kind of thing. And because it's a written story, it's easy to build in a million coincidences when it's a planned thing.
Yeah, because coincidences do not exist. I mean, it was completely not a coincidence that, I just happened to watch on your channel for the very first time and I saw this video. And I am Dutch. What do you know? But coincidences don't exist. Someone must have planned it.
So this event could have been planned when these sculptures were built way long ago. That's another thing that you need to know about their hoaxes, is that they're on really long time spans. They'll plan hoaxes 33 years in advance, for instance, like the Twin Towers. From construction to the demolition of the Twin Towers, it was 33 years. So they
Of course you're a 9/11 denier. Of course you are. I am. This was not a coincidence. This was planned. That you are also a 9/11. 9/11 was planned, especially so that you could deny it in this video, so that I could watch this and I could get angry at you.
plan things out very, very far in advance. It riffs on the idea of a tail track. So apparently, there's even some sort of pun involved with the whole tail thing, tail track. They really are obsessed with puns.
Yeah, because they built it at the end of a train bridge. Totally planned.
Okay, so this is where the trains park.
You know, at the tail end of a track. I mean, come on, man. Fucking.
See, this is why it would be a really easy thing to pull off. This all happened where the trains park at night. There was nobody in it. There's no witnesses. So this is something that they could have easily pretended that some construction was going on, and then boom, here we got our news story. Streege told DUIC that he received a phone call notifying him of the accident while reading the newspaper with his morning cup of coffee. He expressed shock that the sculpture, which is made of reinforced plastic, was able to support the weight of the train car. It could even be a fake train car. It could be a hollowed out train car.
Yeah. Yeah, of course it was. You know, he didn't just expressed shock, and we'll go over the article in a bit, and I think he goes in over it a little bit. They'll go over the architect's reaction a little bit, I think, in the article, but he didn't just express shock. He basically told him, like, listen, if it landed on the other tail, then it would have collapsed. It's really quite good.
It could even be a fake train car. It could be a hollowed out train car that they used just for this event so that they could hoist it in a place really fast. Speaking with Dutch broadcaster, Streege says the image of the damaged metro balancing on his sculpture resembles, in his eyes, a work of art in itself. So this is one of those things where you can tell that the artist knows what they're doing. They know what they're saying. They're in on the joke.
Or it is just like an artist who is like, hey, that kind of looks kind of awesome. I mean, let's be fair. It does look kind of awesome, right? I mean, it's not that it looks it's not that it looks ugly or something. Like, it looks, look at this. Look at this. Let me pull this up. Look. It looks kind of awesome, right? It really does. In a way, it does look like its own kind of art. I mean, you could like support this, cut this part off, and still have like the train tracks going until the stop, which is probably somewhere here. You know what? And have like this old little artwork or so of some sort, right? You could do that. They're not gonna, but you could.
People love talking like this, where if you're asleep and you believe this BS article, you might just think, oh, this is an artist saying that, oh, it looks like a picture, but he knows this was planned. This was a planned part of the sculpture. That's why it's called Saved by a Whale's Tail or whatever. Anyways, to me, it's obvious when people know that it's all BS and they speak in a way that makes it clear that they know it's BS. It's a work of art in itself. He's telling you the truth. He notes that photos of the scene remind him of a movie. or whatever, an art piece,
No.
a conceptual art piece
Yeah.
that features a life-size red car protruding through a parking garage wall as if frozen mid-fall.
Yeah. The red BMW, and I made a oopsie there. Let's look up the red BMW, and there we go. Open image in new tab. There we go. And this is an artwork, and you know, it kind of looks cool, right? And you can see that they took measures to keep it in place. This is probably done in intentional, I think. But yeah, of course it reminds him of this. Of course it does. It both looks kind of cool, right?
The removal will be, and then I've just noticed this. I don't know if this is a thing going way back to the newspaper era, but today it seems like they do this quotation. Like, is there really a reason? I guess because they're noting this person, noted Gorder. But I think that they use these quotation marks to emphasize really things like tricky. They're admitting to you that this is a trick. I've just noticed these days that I see these, like, they'll single quotation out a word all the time, and it's like, pay attention to this word. They're giving you a hint that this is a trick. The removal will be trick.
Yeah. They did said something along the lines of the removal will be tricky. Okay. Why would they say that? Oh, is it that it indeed all a trick? No. No, it's not. Okay, I had to look up what the DUEC is. And it turns out it's some kind of weird accident. Oh no, sorry, no, it's some kind of weird internet newspaper. But yeah, basically I found like a way better article than this. And it's from an actual well, I'm not saying that the other is not an actual newspaper, that would be unfair, but it's from a bigger newspaper actually called the it's basically from the general newspaper, right? And okay, subway smashes through fender and is saved by whale tail, driver arrested. Okay, so this is one of the article that actually kind of explains it a little bit better, and it explains also like kind of like the tricky part. They quote it differently in this article, but it kind of explains what they mean. They go. I've translated it to English, so it might be a little bit funky, as it should have been, as if it should have been. The metro train that has crashed through its fender last night at the Akker station in Spijkenisse dangles on the tail of the artwork. Whale tails. You see, it's just called whale tails. Despite the fact that the bizarre accident seems to have ended relatively well, it turns out to be an enormous job to hoist the metro safely from the artwork. There you go. It's an enormous job. Well, why would it have been an enormous job? Well, the emergency service are present en masse and are making an action plan to safely restore the metro. They hope to be able to do this afternoon by clearing 4 trees. So they have to actually clear trees here. And filling the ditch. It's a complicated job. A really huge challenge, they said. a spokesperson said. Also because the metro hangs above a park. We cannot just go there with heavy equipment because we need a stable surface for that. So that would make it tricky. You got it.
Tricky. Photographer arrived at the scene shortly after the crash. His images of the lofted metro car won viral acclaim on Twitter.
Oh, geez, I wonder why a random photographer would be there shortly after the crash. Maybe, and this is just a wild guess, maybe it's because he lives relatively close and heard some kind of loud bang or something like that. Like, oh, no, that's not. It's obviously because it's planned.
I stood there, full of disbelief, so they will tell you again and again that it's not believable, but they get you to believe in it because they just put it...
Because it is unbelievable! It happened, but it is fucking unbelievable. Who would have imagined a train bursting through a train stop and splashing on through an artwork? Who would have believed that? No one.
On their news article. I've been doing this job for about years, but this is one to remember. And here, this is a big thing. You can't make this up.
No, because
when
you
they
fucking
say
can't.
You can't make this up. They mean you can make this up. So I just want to talk about this expression a little bit because this expression really pisses me off. It's a type of magic, this expression, and type of doublethink. When people say you can't make this up, you can make it up. Think of what it means. You can't make this up. People say that expression when exactly in scenarios like this, where something is completely unbelievable, full of coincidences. Somebody will come out of the woodwork. You can't make this up. What do you mean you can't make this up? You clearly can. It's all made up. That's how something like this happens. How does an event like this that defies logic happen? Because somebody made it up. And that's why there's all the coincidences. That's why there's all the 33s. That's why even the physics of it don't make sense. The train would have just plowed straight through it. You can't...
The train was not going at full speed. The train driver was attempting to stop the train at the train stop, and something among the lines of a human error and a technical malfunction made it so that the train would not stop completely and burst to the train stop. Of course, when it burst through the train stop, it was already slowed down. Then it wasn't. It has already a lot less momentum. And then it ended up on a whale tail where even the one that built it was surprised that it was able to hold it. You can't make that up. But it happened. And what changes? What changes? Absolutely nothing. And you believe that it's fake? And it just boggles my fucking mind, dude.
Make this stuff up is spellcraft, and what it means is
Woo!
you can make this stuff up because it is made up. I just really hate this expression, you can't make this up, because it means the opposite. And in the comments, was there video of the actual accident? Such a video would likely have significant market value as stock footage.
No. Why? Because no one has, like, constantly video cameras pointing at a random train stop. That's one. 2 inside the train. Maybe, but it's also kind of likely that they already had the cameras turned off, because those cameras are not for the are not like a black box. They're for the safety when there is passengers in the train. At the train stop, there are no passengers at the train anymore. I can just go. I'm not even sure if what I'm saying here is true, but I'm just imagining reasons why there wouldn't be any video footage.
And they're not going to give you the video of it happening because it probably was just hoisted into place. And I don't know, this just...
Yeah, it was hoisted there, right. It was hoisted there, right. And that is why, to get it out of there, they had to close a ditch, cut 4 trees, and, probably get some reinforced plates there to, make it a bit more sturdy for the crane. That is why, of course, without anyone noticing, in a place where people are living at 12:30 a.m., which isn't even that fucking late, they got out some special, super secret, heavy equipment, hoisted the train there in place of there, and just hopes that some kind of weird Pokemon Go player would not be roaming around there hunting for Pokemon, or someone walking his dog, or I don't know, 12:30 a.m. Maybe someone's still jogging outside. It's a bit of a weird time to be jogging at 12:30 a.m., but I've seen weirder crap.
Happens. You see this kind of thing with almost all their psyops. They come out with this incredible story. The information about their stories at the beginning is usually really conflicted because they want to bring order out of chaos. Instead of having people just say, no, it's a BS story. They want to give chaos and then bring order out of it, and then they'll tell you what happened. And just what you notice is they never just come out and show you all the footage right away. Who knows?
Why would they? No one of us is entitled to have these maybe not even existent video footages. Why would they release that? It's just something that happened. And we rolled around in our beds and we continued sleeping. If it didn't happen, we rolled around in our bed and continued sleeping. Nothing has changed. Literally nothing has changed. Why would they do such weird crap like, oh, you know what? We're gonna hoist a train on an artwork and a train bridge and sort of without somehow without anyone seeing it. And then we're gonna put this whole show that this weird accident happened. Just because, you know what? I had a fart that I couldn't get out. You know what? It's less than a minute left. I have enough of this asshole. The world is not fake. Are people making stuff up? Of course. Are we being lied to daily? Maybe. But there is like a hard line between what is actually happening in terms of lies against us and stupid crap like this. Yeah, so this was my first reaction video where I kind of stumbled through. I'm probably gonna hate this video, but I'm still gonna upload it, I think. Just cutting out a little part there. For the rest, it will be unedited. I didn't. Oopsie. I'm a failure, and I feel bad. But we have fun, right? Anyway, I see you guys in one of my other videos, whether it's the NASA Black Site, subscribe to it. whether it's a normal rant video or maybe another video like this. I don't know yet, because apparently everything is fake. But you know what? At least I don't have 33 brain cells like Gans Wormhat here.